Tonight, Special Prosecutor Kissi Agyabeng to charge former Finance Minister Kenneth Ofori-Atta, 2 former bosses of the Ghana Revenue Authority, and several others for cooking what he describes as a sweet deal for the Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited and corruption-related acts.
The outcome of the investigation is that the OSP will charge the following persons with various corruption and corruption-related offenses before the end of November 2025. 1. Kenneth Ofori-Atta, former Minister of Finance. Amishadai Owusu-Amoah, former Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority. Isaac Krensel, former Commissioner of the Customs Division of Ghana Revenue Authority.
We have more as the OSP vows to retrieve over 125 million Ghana cedis unjustified payments made to SML during its operations. We have details of the OSP's latest revelation, plus the latest on Ken Ofori-Atta's AG docket brouhaha here on Top Story. Top Story, as always, is brought to you by Telecel, connecting energies and holy insecticide spray and coil. Enjoy a holy sleep. My name is Fostina. Sarfo, please stay for details. Tonight, the Office of the Special Prosecutor says it will charge former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and other high-profile individuals by the end of November 2025 over their alleged involvement in the controversial Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited contracts. Those expected to face corruption and related charges include the former Commissioner General of GRA, Amishadai Owusu-Amoah, former senior officials of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Custom Division executives, and persons connected to SML operations. The Special Prosecutor, Kissi Agyabeng, said the individuals involved were complicit in facilitating and providing automatic payments running into billions of cedis to the company, despite little or no evidence of work done. According to the Special Prosecutor, the charges will be comprehensive and based on months of forensic analysis, including data retrieved from computer servers, financial records, and communication exchanges between key actors.
The outcome of the investigation is that the OSP will charge the following persons with various corruption and corruption-related offenses before the end of November 2025. 1. Kenneth Ofori-Atta, former Minister of Finance. 2. Ernest Akori, Chef de Cabinet to Kenneth Ofori-Atta as Minister of Finance. 3. Emmanuel Kofi-Nti, former Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority. 4. Amishadai Owusu-Amoah, former Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority. 5. Isaac Krensel, former Commissioner of the Customs Division of Ghana Revenue Authority and General Manager of Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited. 6. Kwejo Damwa, former Commissioner of the Customs Division of Ghana Revenue Authority and Member of Parliament for German South constituency. As part of the process, the OSP will seek to recover the financial loss caused to the Republic from the persons listed above. Also, the OSP will recover a total amount of 125 million cedis from SML by way of a disgorgement of unjust enrichment of overpayment by the return of the benefit of this amount it obtained unfairly at the expense of the Republic. This amount was arrived on 2 considerations. First, the participation of SML in the public revenue assurance regime was based on largely undeserved automatic payments detached from performance. Second, the figure was adjusted on a quantum meru basis. This is a legal doctrine that developed the English common law as a form of implied contract or quasi-contract to ensure that the person who conferred a benefit on another received compensation, even when no valid contract existed. The courts introduced the doctrine as an equitable remedy to prevent unjust arrangement, recognizing that fairness sometimes required payment even without an enforceable agreement. In the present context, the OSP configured the doctrine in respect of adjusting the fair value of the investments made by SML in pursuance of performing its obligations under the various contracts, even where the contracts were procured unlawfully and even where services were minimally performed or not performed at all, on the back of SML's reasonable expectations created under the various contracts which were awarded to it by high-ranking public officials who represented ostensible authority and statutory and regulatory compliance to that private company. The investments include the setting up and maintenance of 2 offices by SML, one in Accra and the other in Tema, the hiring of employees, the payment of employees' salaries and attendance statutory payments, the acquisition of vehicles, the acquisition of and installation of ultrasonic meters and automatic tank gauges, and the procurement of a transaction value assessment system, TVAS. I have 2 very short recommendations, and I bring it down.
Well, Kissi Agyabeng also revealed that following months of investigations, the OSP has ordered SML to refund 125 million Ghana cedis to the state, the amount he said represents an unjust enrichment derived from automatic payments that were not tied to actual performance.
In respect of measurement audits for downstream petroleum, KPMG concluded that there was reported incremental volume that is attributable to the involvement of SML determined at 1.70 billion litres for the period, which translates to incremental revenue of 2.5 billion cedis attributable to the involvement of SML. The OSP firmly disagrees with this conclusion by KPMG. Indeed, the OSP investigation shows that KPMG relied heavily on trend analysis of petroleum lifting volumes between 2018 and 2013, and not so much on the actual work done by SML, and without much consideration of the impact of the concurrent implementation of the ERDMS and ICAMS during that period. These systemic upgrades surely accounted for much more accountability and records of lifting volumes. KPMG later contradicted itself in its own report by acknowledging that revenue growth in this period resulted from macroeconomic factors such as pricing and demand, and regulatory enforcement and increased taxes. In any case, the OSP investigation shows that SML's participation in downstream petroleum audit was unnecessary, and that its monthly audit reports were unreliable. As I stated, its metering system was unsuitable for the design of the pipes and operational modes at several depots. Post-KPMG audits. Following the KPMG audit, MOF, GRA, and SML acted on the KPMG recommendation of the consideration of shifting from a variable to a fixed fee structure in respect of downstream petroleum products audit. So by a memorandum of understanding signed on 1 November 2024, they changed the variable fee mechanism to a monthly fixed fee of 22,629,204 cedis 95 pesos, being, they stated, equivalent of 1,432,228 United States dollars 16 cents, inclusive of all taxes, at the prevailing Bank of Ghana exchange rate, which operated on 1st October 2024. In our estimation, the CD version of the stated fixed monthly fee in the 1 November 2024 addendum is unnecessarily deceptive, as the party's real intention as captured in clause 13 of the MOU itself is a monthly fee of the stated figure in United States dollars. GRA has not paid SML since December 2024 as a result of the OSP investigation.
Or you had the Kissi Agyabeng. Well, my colleague joins me in the studio, Kenneth Gyasi. He was at that news conference earlier today. Kenneth, what else came up?
Well, this was about a 2-hour news conference, and a lot of things and revelations were made by the special prosecutor. But he also said that his office has uncovered over 5 billion Ghana cedis that was paid to Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited between July 2018 and December 2024 without any verifiable work done. Well, the payments, according to the OSP, made automatically by the Ghana Revenue Authority bypassed key verification steps such as report submissions and invoice checks.
The circumstances surrounding the enforced insertion of SML in the nation's quest for increased revenue were regrettable, unlawful conduct, and reckless financial decision-making. Indeed, this was a case of unnecessary and wasteful pretend revenue assurance, except for comparison purpose only. Even then, the basis of the supposed comparison was a collection of disappearing acts of no worthy utility. And even now, some officers of GRA are issuing letters and statements along the lines of the pretense that this has been worthwhile for the nation. Such statements are feeble attempts at face saving, and they do not operate to extinguish the criminal culpability of the public official promoters, sponsors, and patrons of SML. However, there is much wisdom and force in the institution of real revenue assurance, as it involves the identification, prevention, and correction of revenue leakages, thereby enhancing the public purse. In the estimation of the OSP, GRA did right by finally terminating the transaction audit and price and external price verification aspects of SML's engagement in November 2024. The OSP recommends that that termination should be made to lie where it fell, as SML showed a classless non-performance of the service it was unlawfully engaged to perform in the sector. Further, the OSP can neither choose nor recommend contractual partners for public institutions. Therefore, if in the estimation of MOF and GRA, they are desirous of retaining SML in other areas of revenue assurance, then critical needs assessment should be performed, and the ministry and its regulatory agency must ensure that all statutory and regulatory prior approvals and licenses are obtained, and further, that contractual obligations are mounted on expertise, experience, and capability based on responsible value for money verification and monitoring constructs. The OSP highly commends Evans Eziamo Mensah, Ajwa Adubia Owusu, and Manase Azuri Awuni. We are very grateful for your service. Ghanaians, thank you.
Well, there was also details of the OSP's investigations into SML's petroleum audit contract. What exactly did he say?
Well, indeed, the OSP's investigation into SML's petroleum audit contracts has revealed, according to the special prosecutor, that the company's metering systems were unsuitable for use in several depots across the country.
Members of the media, the OSP investigation shows that SML's meters were Honeywell VersaFlow TWS 9000W multipath ultrasonic flow meters. And according to the Ghana Standards Authority, which is the custodian of weights and measures, these meters are attractive for measurement in the oil and gas industry because of their non-intrusive clamp-on installation, which does not require welding or cutting, and that the use of these meters ensures high accuracy as opposed to single-path ultrasonic flow meters. However, on SML's own showing from its audit report from August 2023, added to an operational shortfall of not having fixed meters in at least 5 depots, its metering system was encountering substantial physical and operational challenges in a good number of the depots, resulting in inability of measurements tabled as follows. 1. SML's meters were unable to measure residual fuel oil because the temperature and fluid viscosity were too high for clamping and performance of ultrasonic flow meters. 2. SML did not measure volumes at depots that load products at atmospheric pressure using natural gravity because ultrasonic flow meters are unsuitable for work in such conditions. 3. SML did not measure volumes at depots where flows of petroleum products go through underground pipelines since it was physically impossible to clamp the meters on underground pipelines. To address some of these concerns, SML perennially expressed the intention of installing an automatic tank gauging system. It fixed 8 out of 29 depots. The OSP investigation also discovered that a high discrepancy in readings that SML kept reporting from June 2020 through December 2022 was largely due to SML's meters reading vibrations and sounds from trucks as they discharge petroleum products at night. Further, the meters sometimes recorded pressurized water used in washing the pipes and driving products through the pipes. The OSP investigation shows that the public official promoters, sponsors, and patrons of SML were fully aware of the accused shortfall of SML service in the downstream petroleum sector, yet they persisted in their patronage by permitting it to operate and religiously authorizing payments to it while they remained in a lethargic state of willful blindness. This could only have been for their private benefit. Indeed, as recently as January 2025, SML was exhibiting inability of comprehending the loading process through ERDMs and ICAMs. This was evidenced in a letter dated 17 January 2025 by the head of petroleum operations at GRA addressed to the managing director of SML.
And Ken, just before I let you go, what's the update really on the whole controversy surrounding Ken Ofori-Atta and the docket that the OSP ought to have provided the Office of the Attorney General?
Well, the OSP did not want to give much information on that, but they said they were collaborating with their foreign partners, and as at Monday, they have received enough evidence and that they will be presenting their docket very soon.
It's indeed still top story. Let me bring in Frank Davis, his lawyer for Ken Ofori-Atta. I also have joined the conversation, Kweku Pencil. He is a private legal practitioner. We appreciate your time, gentlemen. Let me start with Frank Davis, really. We're hearing from the OSP tell us that he's going to officially charge your client. And he raises concerns about his alleged involvement in the controversial Strategic Mobilization Limited Ghana contract. In the OSP words, he says, quote, Mr. Ofori-Atta had succeeded in institutionalizing SML as the central player in the revenue monitoring framework, contrary to law, capacity, and value for money. How do you respond to this as his lawyer?
Well, good evening to esteemed listeners and cherished viewers. Is this new? I mean, I can hardly fathom this new style that the OSP and Attorney General of the Republic have adopted. I mean, organizing process that they want to condemn accused persons or suspects in the court of public opinion before they go to court. A trained lawyer's place is in the courtroom, not standing behind microphones and spewing long and unnecessary English. I mean, even as of now, he says he's going to charge him in November. I mean, so why come and waste everybody's time with this presser? Why come and waste everybody's time? Is this the first time this OSP is mounting speakers and talking? Look, the criminal jurisprudence of our country is that an accused person is innocent until he is proven guilty. And that burden lies on the prosecution at all times. So coming to narrate and talk long and meaningless English is not conviction. He says he's going to charge him. He should go ahead and charge him and stop this and stop this gimmicking. I mean, come on. Is this the first time the OSP has come out to say something about Ken Ofori-Atta? Once upon a time, what did he tell us? He was going to Nanaya Ken Ofori-Atta, you either come into this country or I'll force your entry into this country. I mean, come on. Amateurish and childish pranks. Look, nobody is afraid of prosecution. Let me tell you, Ken Nana Yao Kuntun Kununkum Ofori-Atta is not afraid of prosecution. Let the cards roll for the OSP. The accused person will have his day in court. Oh, let's stop this theatrics. I mean, he should be more concerned about his office and what people are saying about his office. He should be more concerned about that and stop this. A lawyer's place is in the courtroom, not behind microphones.
In the courtroom, you say, and that's one of the key things he told us today. Some of the key findings that his investigations have unraveled. I would like to quote him verbatim so that they can serve as a guide for the conversation.
I heard him. You don't have to quote.
Well, when it comes to the payments, for the benefit of our audience who didn't have the opportunity to listen to the news conference, which was over an hour, by the way, he said that the payments to SML between April 2020 and December 2023 were made on the back of Reverend Owusu-Amua's 5th of June 2025 ungranted request to the senior minister for consideration of government decision to discontinue SML purported service. The OSP investigation shows that Reverend Owusu-Amua had the comfort of the full backing of Ken Ofori-Atta to continue the automatic payments, notwithstanding the senior minister's notice of discontinuance. How do you respond to this as his lawyer?
I have no response. I don't do my case on radio, my dear. I am not going to get myself involved in what I don't want to use harsh language, but I don't want to get myself involved in what the OSP is doing. My day is in court. As a trained lawyer, I don't argue my cases on radio. So you can go and ask the OSP to answer. He likes to play to the gallery. I don't. A lawyer's place is in the courtroom. So if he says he's going to charge Ofori-Atta, we will meet him in the courtroom.
And is your client fit to return to the country?
What?
Is your client in the best of health to return to the country?
Why is that part of your business? Is that something which is of utmost concern to you?
But you're going to court. You're going to court to defend your client.
So you charge him and bring him.
And so it's imperative we know if your client will be there in person.
But if the man has not been charged, you are asking me why. Am I a clairvoyant? If he is charged, he will come. He has not been charged yet. We are told end of November. So let's all wait till the end of November. Why ask him whether he will come? I have told you from the outset that Ken Nanaya Kuntun Kunutu Ofori-Atta is not scared of prosecution. I told you. This is why I asked him in this question. He is not scared of prosecution.
So we should expect him in the country in November. Should the special prosecutor charge him?
He is not, my dear, scared of prosecution. That should be an adequate answer for you.
But I'm sure you've been in talks with your client. What's his general overview of some of the concerns that the OSP has raised?
I didn't start talking on radio today. So stop what you're doing. You've asked me the question, I've answered. So stop, just stop what you're doing. I started talking on radio long.
And what is it that we're doing that is upsetting you, Frank Davis? Because for our audience, really, they just want to know your strategy when you go to court in November.
No, but you want me to disclose my strategy to you. Oh, my dear, why? You want me, as a trained lawyer, to come on radio and come and disclose my strategy to you. Is that how it is done? Why has our justice delivery system been reduced to this level because others are doing it? I should do it. That I should come on radio and come and propagate my strategy from our clients to you. But I don't owe you any confidentiality or privilege of representation. I mean, so why should I tell you?
Frank
I'll
Davis.
tell you, a lawyer's place is in the courtroom.
Frank Davis is lawyer for Ken Ofori-Atta. Let me bring in Kweku Pencil. He's a private legal practitioner. We've just heard from Frank Davis raise concerns about the conduct of the OSP and even declaring individuals guilty in the court of public opinion, even before the case is officially heard in court, even before he tables official charges in court. As a private legal practitioner, what's your thoughts about the conduct of the OSP?
You're speaking to me in this Kweku Pencil.
Indeed, I am speaking to you, Kweku.
I think what the OSP is doing is highly and very unprofessional. He's conducting a trial in the court of public opinion, which is against the very tenet and the essence of a trial under our system of adjudication. I think the OSP's conduct is most abhorrent and shameful. I don't know what pushes him to do all the kind of things that he does by giving all these press statements. And what he's doing is really prejudicial. Accused person is entitled to a presumption of innocence. And you don't do the kind of thing that the public prosecutor, what do you call it? I mean, the public prosecutor, what's his name? The OSP. He's doing it as if Joy FM or GTV or the public are going to be the judges in this matter. It's very, very unfair. That's my view. And I wholly subscribe to what my learned senior is saying about the conduct of the OSP. It's totally abhorrent. And I think somebody must advise him that if I were his lawyer, I'm talking about Ofori-Atta's lawyer, I will apply to the court for an order even to quash the entire, prosecution. Because highly prejudicial, you are doing a trial in the public opinion, the court of public opinion, which is totally unacceptable. Coming to public to mention all the things and what, what's that for? So I wholly subscribe to what Counsel Davis is saying, and I think somebody must caution the OSP. Someone must caution him. Ofori-Atta may be guilty of whatever, but we have a procedure for bringing criminal charges against a person, anybody, not even, a highly placed, minister, anybody, you and I. It is for our protection that we have laws guiding and guarding the way we do things in our courts. And I think the OSP, as a public official, is completely off track, and somebody must caution him.
But in the spirit of transparency, the OSP is trying to update the public on investigations so far, especially because of critics have lamented that the office appears to be silent.
But there's a limit to public interest. Which is you bring your charges, however you get your accused person. And please, I've even commented previously or at some earlier point in time that a trial is not necessarily accused in a doctor or court. You can even conduct a trial in absentia when you believe you have believed that the accused person is deliberately making himself unavailable about it. And if the OSP believes that the only way he wants to conduct trial is to get him before the courts of Ghana, so be it. But then he knows, so he must know what he has to do. But I think there's so much theatricals about what's going on. I don't really know what purpose this is serving all of us. On the contrary, I've cautioned that if I were his lawyer, I will know how to get the whole suit or everything thrown out of court by reason of the unnecessary and highly prejudicial manner that the OSP is going about this matter. That is sufficient ground for the whole case to be thrown out of court. Yes. So that's my view of the matter. I don't know what's going on. So that's my view of the matter.
Kweku Penzo is a private legal practitioner. Let me wrap up with Frank Davis. When you go to court in November, should the OSP officially charge your client, will you be raising concerns about the conduct of the OSP to have the court squash the whole case as a result?
I am advising the OSP that is if he has lost sight of the little training we all had, that he is offending the legal profession ethics and etiquette rules, and he should be very, very careful. He should be very, very, very careful. This exhibition of unwanted hubris will not help him. He should be very, 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 very careful. He's demeaning the office of the special prosecutor. We once upon a time had a special prosecutor. Martin Lamido did not conduct himself in this shameful manner. But this is just untoward. It is unbecoming of a trained lawyer. And I'm advising him and I'm cautioning him that he should be very careful, that we have etiquette and rules which guide the conduct of lawyers. For him especially a special prosecutor for that matter, he should be very careful. This prejudicial, unnecessary, needless, and shameful style of trying to hold Ghanaians against Kenneth Ofori-Atta will not wash. But Kenneth Ofori-Atta will have his day in court, and that is where we will all be, not on radio.
Thank you so much, Frank Davis, is lawyer for Ken Ofori-Atta. And that's how we wrap up Top Story. I'm handing over the baton to Newsnight.
Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to News 9. We're live from our studios here at Kokomlemle in Accra. The bulletin is also live across the country on over 30 affiliates. Tonight, parliamentary proceedings are nearly brought to a halt after minority raised issues with quorum about absenteeism, which continues to rock parliament.
They can run this ninth parliament without the minority. And therefore, the question that many Ghanaians are asking, why are they not attending to the House? Why are they not taking their business as members of parliament seriously?
We'll tell you how that was resolved and why the minority are blaming their NDC colleagues. Also tonight, public outrage and strong condemnation across Ghana after a viral video captured a plainclothes soldier brutally assaulting a pharmacy attendant and a woman who tried to intervene.
This was an attempt to kill the girl. I mean, just look at the size of the man.
When I saw the thing, I couldn't look at it. Like, this is an animalistic behavior.
Yeah.
In PTSD, if he is an active military person, I'm sure the military hierarchy may look at that. Not to free him or this.
More as the Ghana Armed Forces has confirmed the arrest of the officer at dawn today. We'll hear from the Defense and Interior Committee coming up in business.
Ghanaians and other residents traveling outside the country spend 4 billion Ghana cedis in total expenditure for 2023.
And a bit later, cracks emerge among the sponsors of the LGBTQ bill over whether or not the government should be allowed to take over the bill.
And I don't see why government owning the bill will change anything.
When it is a public bill, you take away all the politics about it. Currently, there's politics around it.
More as anti-LGBTQ campaigners warn of spiritual consequences for President Mahama if he fails to sign the bill when it is passed.
If he doesn't pass it, we're going to pray. He will sleep. Trust me, we will pray and you will sign. Otherwise, he will sleep.
Okay. We will explore the impact of this rift on the bill's passage. And also coming up in the National Science and Maths Quiz, it is being described as the El Clasico of the NSM kill because Adisadel College, Infansipim School and Prempeh College clash at the quarterfinals any moment from now after Ghana Secondary Technical School knocked out 8-time champion Legon Presec.
Presbyterian Boys Secondary School has 38 points. GSTS has 39 points.
We've got the latest of these and many other stories coming up in the next 1 hour. My name is Kenneth, Gyasi. You can be a part of this show by sending us a WhatsApp on 055 11 11 997. Details shortly.
Auntie T, Agyabeng, fix me go betete Ghana. No Gary, no
no oil, no plantain, just beans then eggs.
Hey, brah, that be dangerous combination, no?
Problem no day. I feel handle am.
For Telecel, with the Bob say everybody gets what they like. That be why Made For Me bundles day. Based on your usage, you fit get your own data and call packages. Fala! Made For Me bundles like the way you want them. That *530#, then buy Made For Me bundles today.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Couldn't sleep at night. Mosquitoes will be whining my ears, bugging me all night long. Till I got a remedy. Now I'll be spraying them away with holy insecticide spray. I go spray them away with holy insecticide spray. When I sleep, me dana with holy insecticide spray.
Holy mosquito coil, holy multi-purpose insecticide spray. Ghana Kron Kron. For bulk purchase, call 0302 681582. This advert is FDA approved.
No. You look so relaxed and cheerful these days. What's your secret?
No secret, Kofi. I just sorted out my retirement with Shield Pension Trust. You should talk to them.
Retirement? There's small time before pension.
Share. The earlier you start, the better. And Shield Pension Trust makes this so easy for you. They've got amazing plans to choose from. I even signed up for the Shield Cedi Crow a day personal pension scheme, which lets you save as little as 1 Ghana Cedi a day towards your retirement. Isn't that great?
1 cedi a day.
Exactly. And the best part is, I sign up automatically on the Dacia Pomodin plan, which guarantees me medical insurance when I go on retirement.
Hey, you've convinced me. I need to sign up now.
Kofi is making a move to secure his future and health insurance when he goes on retirement. What about you? Go to Shield Pension Trust or call us now on 050-915-0253 and we'll guide you through securing your pension tomorrow. Shield Pension Trust, into the future with you.
Announcing Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing. Yes, from just 983 Ghana cedis, you can lease a multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited. Yes, unlimited and free paper every month. Guess what? That's not all. Toners, repairs, and maintenance all are free. And oh, I'm not kidding at all. And we cover the whole country. Yes, the whole country. What are you waiting for? Just visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. I repeat, or call 0244 644048. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Valix Lease, affordable document management solutions.
This is really good. Missing that real taste of Ghana? Your favorite kitchen is calling. Living Room Restaurant, famous for our mouth-watering authentic Ghanaian dishes, has a brand new home. We've moved. Find your favorite food now at our bigger, better spot on the Trinity Avenue, Baalishi, East Legon. It's the same incredible flavors, same warm Ghanaian hospitality, just a fresh new location, and now with live band on weekends. You can also book our lovely spaces for your private event at the same venue and enjoy the same great service. Visit us today at Trinity Avenue, Baalishi, East Legon. Living room, simply delicious.
Many thanks for joining us tonight. We begin with this breaking news from the site of an inferno because we understand that a devastating fire has razed the entire China City Mall in Kumasi, destroying the mall structure and goods stocked at this facility. Well, the mall located at Santasi was only opened in 2025, selling all kinds of goods, including home accessories and groceries. Let's cross over to Joy News' Emmanuel Bright Kweku for a quick update. Emmanuel, what more can you tell us?
Kenneth, in fact, as we speak now, I have sighted some drip machines that have been brought to this particular facility. In fact, as you rightly mentioned, the massive fire has consumed the entire building, the entire China City Mall located at Star Junction in Kumasi, around Santasi, I am talking about. In fact, the drip machines, we are told, is going to help raise or put down the entire structure. In fact, nothing has actually been salvaged. All the items that were sold at this particular facility have all been raised or gutted by the inferno In fact, there was frantic efforts by the firefighters here and even the Natural Disaster and Management Organization and to salvage the fire or the items that were consumed by the fire. But unfortunately, they could not do so. That's because according to them, there is no fire hydrants or water hydrants around this area. So they had to consult or find alternatives within the facility to kill the fire tenders that were actually at the site. So most of the items that were at the facility have all been consumed by fire. In fact, when you move to the scene as we speak now, and the metallic structures or metallic skeleton of the building have all been tilted, they have all been raised down, and everything here, you cannot find anything. Earlier, we were trying to speak with the owners of this facility, but as of now, they say they do not want to engage with the media. And when we engaged them, they were basically distraught at what has happened because their investment worth millions of dollars have been destroyed by the inferno. And as I said, the drip machines are still here, and we are hoping that the officials will start or begin officially with the cooling down exercise, so that this place can actually be made bare if the investors or the owners of this facility would want to raise another or erect another structure, they can do so. But for now, nothing has actually been salvaged. In fact, we are told that no casualty has also been recorded. The original commander of the Ghana Fire Service here, ACFO Peter Tete, indicated that no casualty was recorded. The workers here and even those who had come to the place to shop were all evacuated before the fire could spread to the entire facility. We understand that it actually started at the backside of the facility and then quickly spread to the entire mall in this area. So, Kenneth, that's so far what is the latest and we have started.
Thank you for that update, Emmanuel Bright-Kweku from the Ashanti region. And a quick reminder that we will be bringing you the El Clasico clash of the NSMQ. It's the hotly contested quarterfinals competition between Adisadel College, Prempeh College, and Infansipim School, as and when it starts here on Joy FM and also on Joy News. Let's take you to Parliament this very evening, because the proceedings in Parliament was nearly brought to an end after the minority raised issues with quorum. Parliament has been continuously rocked with absenteeism, with the Speaker warning MPs yesterday if they fail to show up for work, their seats will be declared vacant. At the time of the proceedings earlier this afternoon, there were about just 70 MPs on the floor. Deputy Minority Whip Habib Idrisu took notice and raised it.
1992 Constitution to continue with this parliament. Mr. Speaker, I so pray that the right thing is being done. Yesterday, you cautioned all of us. Media houses carried it, that if we are not serious to continue business, we shouldn't let Ghanaians think safe. And at the moment, out of 276, we are only 70 in the chamber, and the Constitution has made it clear. So, Mr. Speaker, I urge you to apply the rules as stated in Article 102 of the 1992 Constitution.
Right, so that right there is the Deputy Minority Whip Habib, who has raised that particular issue on the floor of Parliament. But MP for Tamale North and Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways, Al-Hassan Suhini, also took issue with the minority raising issue of quorum when there were only a handful of MPP MPs on the floor.
I think that it is a huge indictment on the leadership of the House, especially my brother, who is also the chief whip, the deputy chief whip, the deputy whip of the minority side. When I look on their side, I do not see their members present, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the text, Mr. Speaker, the text that they enjoy as leaders is to ensure that they also, especially as whips, they ensure that their members are present. Mr. Speaker, this house is not made up of only majority members of Parliament. This house is made up of two parties, and we expect that our numbers be present, but we also expect that the minority that have also been voted to represent their constituents are marshaled to be in the House. So, Mr. Speaker, I am disappointed in the leadership of the whip that he's not able to whip his side to be on the floor, and he's advertising it the way he's doing.
So that's the MP for Tamale North and Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways. Well, Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kuku Asante is joining us with the latest. Kuku, the Majority Chief Whip, also sought to explain why the attendance has been poor. What did he say?
Well, yes, according to Roxy Nelson, the farmer, one of the reasons why the numbers have been particularly poor this afternoon had been because a lot of committee meetings were ongoing in the precincts of Parliament. Committee chairmen had scheduled meetings, and that is why the numbers were low, and that it wasn't because MPs were simply failing or refusing to attend proceedings.
Yesterday we did business, government business, we conducted government business on this floor. Now, please, Speaker, please. This is the evidence of what happened yesterday. Yesterday there were 176 members of this House. 176. The records will bear us out. So the propaganda that the mighty minority are absent is not borne out by the records. The mighty majority are absent is not borne out by the record. So when issues are raised, Mr. Speaker, these are matters of procedure. We cannot sidestep the procedure and do otherwise. It is good you have proceeded within 64(3). You are drawing Mr. Speaker's attention to an alleged absence of the adequate numbers for a commencement quorum. The law provides what should be done. I believe the Right Honorable Speaker will direct the clerks at table to ring the bell. The numbers will come in and will proceed. Now, Mr. Speaker, having said this, I believe that yesterday you had cause to encourage members to attend upon the House at 2 p.m. Speaker, before we adjourn, the records will bear me out that I drew the attention of leadership, of committees. Speaker, we have discovered that leaders of committees are arranging committee business in the afternoon, when we have all agreed that committee businesses should be arranged in the morning.
At Kweku, the MP for Damango, Samuel Jinapo, says this is squarely at the doorstep of the NDC side. Why?
Well, yes, the former Lands and Natural Resources Minister actually raised this on the floor and then followed it up in interaction with journalists outside the chamber. He says the NDC, given that they have 185 with 4 independent MPs in addition making 189, they have no excuse with quorum matters in Parliament, and that they must show up. That even if minority MPs are absent, majority MPs by themselves are able to do business because of the huge numbers Ghanaians have given them. And so it is not right that they will absent themselves and leave government business and other important parliamentary business to just be hanging in the balance.
They have the numbers by themselves to form a quorum to do business. They have the numbers by themselves to form a quorum to take decisions. They have the numbers by themselves to form a quorum to even take fundamental decisions, which requires 2/3 of all members of Parliament. And as one of them once said, they can run this 9th Parliament without the minority. And therefore, the question that many Ghanaians are asking, why are they not attending to the House? Why are they not taking their business as members of Parliament seriously? And why are they not showing up? And why is this majority turning out to be an absentee majority? And this is why we think we should communicate to the Ghanaian people who elected these 189 members of Parliament, who gave them the supermajority and 2/3, to know that we, the minority in this House, are very prepared, ready, and willing to help them conduct government business. But it will appear that they are not cooperating with the minority to get President Mohammed's business and government business to go through. And when that happens, it's the Ghanaian people who suffer. Today, on the order paper, we have a litany of important bills and important items which are required to be considered and taken by the House to get government business to move forward. And yet, we have had to wait to grapple with the issue of quorum. I want to conclude by making one other point. One will say that some of them are ministers. There's foreign minister, there's that, and they travel and all of that. But the point is, you have this big majority, And so even if the 16 ministers President Mahama has are all members of parliament, and all of them even are unable to attend to parliament, you have enough numbers, sufficient numbers to form quorum, to have quorum to conduct business, to have quorum to take decisions, and to ensure that the work of the legislature moves on smoothly.
Kweku, and how was this issue resolved eventually?
Well, the standing orders came into play. They asked the table office to have the bells rung in Parliament, which will draw all members' attention to come to the chamber either way around. And after the back and forth on the floor, when the counting was done, the number, according to the Speaker and the table office, was 103, and the commencement quorum is 92, which meant that Parliament had a quorum to proceed. And they've been proceeding throughout the day. They've been working. In fact, I just about the chamber. There are still some questions and answers on the floor. And so the minority's attempt to raise the matters of quorum to truncate business for today just did not succeed, because after the count, 103 MPs were said to be on the floor, which meant business could proceed.
Kweku Asante is our resident correspondent in Parliament. Thank you very much. Let's bring you more stories tonight, because the Minister for Transport, Joseph Nikbe, has told Parliament that government is getting close to establishing a national airline after a task force it put together presented a business model. Government is now expected to engage potential partners. According to the Minister, who was responding to questions on the floor, the national airline is high on the agenda of government and will be pursued meticulously.
Mr. Speaker, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama reaffirmed his government's commitment to restart a transparent process for the establishment of a national airline during the State of the Nation's address. In line with this vision, I inaugurated a task force on the 7th May 2025 to oversee and coordinate all necessary activities towards the realization of this national objective. Mr. Speaker, I am pleased to inform this August House that the task force has made significant progress, a business model and operational framework to guide government engagement with potential strategic partner for the establishment of the national airline has been submitted to the Office of the President. Mr. Speaker, the establishment of a national airline is a matter of strategic national importance. It is more than just restoring an airline. It is about establishing Ghana as a vital aviation hub in the sub-region, promoting tourism, creating jobs, and opening up new avenues for economic progress. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Transport remains fully committed to ensuring that the process is undertaken with professionalism, transparency, and fiscal responsibility.
Well, let's stay a while in Parliament, because Joseph Bukari Nikbe has also explained that government has learned the lessons that led to the collapse of the erstwhile Ghana Airways, which will guide the ongoing process.
Mr. Speaker, establishing a national airline has a lot to do. After the collapse of the Ghana Airways, we have attempted so many times and it failed. We are guided by it, and for that matter, we are taking the processes as serious as they come. For instance, we cannot have a task force and they have submitted a business model, they have submitted a operational guidelines or framework for us that we are supposed to use to engage all the proposals we have received from the private sector. We cannot jump now when we have not met with them. We have not seen the capacities or how they can be efficient in delivering to the timelines they will be given to us and fix a time frame. So we will update you at all the stages we will get in terms of when and exactly how we are going to roll out the national air carrier.
Joseph Bukari Nikbe is the Minister for Transport. Now, the minority on the Defense and Interior Committee has condemned the assault of a pharmacy attendant and a woman by a soldier at a pharmacy at Burma Camp. Well, the reaction adds to a growing wave of public outrage on social and mainstream media following the circulation of disturbing footage of the incident. The attack, which occurred around 6 p.m. yesterday, shows the soldier storming into a pharmacy in a fit of rage after being denied the opportunity to return a medication he bought. We'll hear from the minority shortly, but first, Maxwell Agbagba of our security desk has been analyzing the CCTV footage and has more in this report.
In a video that has since gone viral, a soldier in plain clothes identified as Warrant Officer Class 1 Williams Mensah is seen angrily walking towards a pharmacy. He snatches what appears to be medication from a boy who was following him. His first words are to inquire about what the pharmacy attendant had said. Moments later, he begins demanding a refund. The pharmacy attendant is heard pleading with him to be patient, but the soldier continues to insist on getting his money back. A woman standing inside the shop also tries to calm him down, but he pushes her aside. The woman questions why he pushed her, prompting the soldier to approach her again. When she attempts to film the incident, he strikes her twice in the face and once on her body. Williams Mensah then turns his attention back to the pharmacy attendant, repeatedly hitting him about 8 times on the face, stomach, and other parts of his body, all while demanding his money. According to sources, WO1 Mensah had sent his son to purchase medication worth 65 cedis. However, upon realizing that he did not want the brand that he got, he asked that it be returned for a refund. The pharmacy, however, reportedly explained that medicines sold are non-refundable, a policy that allegedly triggered the assault.
Well, so more reaction continued to pour in as the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana has described the incident as barbaric, reprehensible, and utterly unacceptable. It is urging the Ghana Police Service and the Ghana Armed Forces to ensure that the matter is pursued to its logical conclusion. Maxwell Agbagba of our security desk joins me in studio with details of the society's statement. Maxwell, what exactly are they saying?
The society says such conduct do not only violate the fundamental human rights and dignity of the victims, but also constitutes a grave affront to public trust and the sanctity of healthcare spaces. The PSG expresses its deep empathy and solidarity with the pharmacy attendant and the female client who endured this traumatic ordeal. They say we stand firmly with them and will ensure they receive the necessary psychological and professional support. They continue to say that we implore the Ghana Police Service and the Ghana Armed Forces to pursue this matter to its logical conclusion, ensuring that justice is served swiftly and transparently. The society will closely follow this case until the full weight of the law is brought to bear on the perpetrator. It further stated the PSG also wishes to commend the Ghana Armed Forces for their prompt intervention and the arrest of the suspect, which demonstrates an institutional commitment to discipline and professionalism. It concludes by saying that we trust that disciplinary processes through investigation and prosecution of the perpetrator in accordance with the laws of the Republic will be expedited to reinforce public confidence in the armed forces' zero-tolerance stance towards such misconduct.
Well, thank you very much, Maxwell. Well, we've also been hearing from the minority on the Defense and Interior Committee, and it has issued a strong condemnation, describing the assault as unwarranted, barbaric, and one that must not be condoned. Here is Ranking Member John in Team Fojo.
We condemn this incident that occurred, the soldier that was seen clearly in a video assaulting a pharmacist and a client who had just gone to the pharmacy shop. Nobody knows the provocation, but whatever it is, that attack was unwarranted. The assault was barbaric and can never be condoned. But I want to swiftly commend the top hierarchy of the Ghana Armed Forces for the very swift action they've taken, the arrest of the warrant officer and the initial processes they are undertaking. I would also want to see it through to its logical conclusion. The Ghana Armed Forces may deal with the with the professional conduct aspect of it, but this is a criminal incident, and so it is expected that they will collaborate with the Ghana Police Service, where investigations will properly establish every applicable charge under the criminal code that has to apply in the prosecution of this case. But we must also be careful not to generalize this in attempt to in commenting on this matter. We have several thousands of very professional soldiers, very fine soldiers, one of the most formidable and one of the creditably conducted soldiers we have in the world, the Ghana Armed Forces. And so if one, in a very isolated incident this way, goes to, in a very barbaric way, attacks and assaults civilians, we should not generalize that for the Ghana Armed Forces we know. And that is why I commend authorities for the swift move in handling this matter and to deal with it within the very case that it individually represents.
We will be speaking to a security analyst shortly, but earlier on the AM show on Joy News, panelists minced no words in condemning the soldiers' behavior. Here's Chief Executive Officer of GIFEC, Rashid Tanko Computer.
It speaks for itself. Yes. It's clear.
Yes.
This one there, you don't need to belabor it. It's a straightforward matter.
And it's probably you guys will do a summary judgment.
Yes, yeah, you have seen that it's a clear assault. I mean, unprovoked and all that kind of thing. And that's what I was giving the dictum, which says the rest after liquid. So when matter speaks for itself like that, it makes it easy to prosecute. And then, so the guy will be dealt with. Seriously, when I saw the thing, I couldn't look at it twice. Like, this is an animalistic behavior.
Yeah.
And should be condemned at all. It is very bad, terribly bad.
Well, let's bring in Professor Kissi in. He's a security consultant. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. I want to pick your initial reaction to this whole issue since it happened barely 24 hours ago.
Well, this is an act. It's so utterly that it was for words. But I like this with which the armed forces has reacted. Because over the last 3 to 4 years, I think there are way many instances of such excessive meted out.
Professor, kindly reposition yourself. We are losing you.
No, the fault is from MTN. I'm dancing around my hallway. You know, so I think we can commend the Ghana Armed Forces. The second also is what Reverend said, that we should not generalize this. Now, because of the man's rank, he cannot be summarily dismissed or punished. He has to go through the process. But I can assure you that he will be dealt with. There have been instances where individual officers have brutalized women, and after going through the process, they have been summarily dismissed. You know, so I know that with the present leadership of the armed forces, that a clear message has been sent that it cannot and will not be business as usual. So this warrant officer, I'm sure he's doing the day when he went to that pharmacy. But he will be dealt with. And it will send a clear signal that this is not the other.
Professor Enin, given that...
a lot of work that needs to be done.
Given that this assault happened off duty and, of course, in a public space, should the soldier face both military and civil prosecution?
Yes. He is a soldier. He's still in uniform. The fact that he has put his uniform down after work does not reduce the seriousness of the act that he has committed. But to violently assault two people who don't have the skill set that he has and not having sworn to defend the people of this country, I think those two people have a right And I think it would be crucial for civil society or civil societies to support these two individuals to bring a civil case against this monster. Because this guy is extremely dangerous. Either he has a mental problem or that he was on drugs. And I'm hoping that probably they may have sent him to NACOC for test and eventually to the mental hospital also for tests. Because you see, when we have people who are either drug addicts or drug users or are mentally unstable, trained to defend Ghana, heavily armed, walking around supposedly doing their duty without the public or the institution knowing the problems that they have. And it's a threat both to the individual, the institutions, and to those of us that he's supposed to protect. So I will appeal to the armed forces hierarchy to certainly do a mental test and also to do a drugs test, because this is a disaster waiting to happen 10 times less. We can't afford to have it. Certainly not the Ghana. Certainly not the handling. And I want to commend the Ghana Armed Forces for very quickly responding, but also for the pharmaceutical society to make its abhorrence of what took place very clear. We can't accept this anymore.
Professor Kosieni, thank you very much. That's a security consultant there, and that brings us to business. And George is in the studio. He just returned from Washington. George, have you brought us some dollars from where you came from?
Well, coming up in business, Ghanaians and other residents traveling outside the country spent 4 billion Ghana cedis in total expenditure for 2023. And transport operators abolish push for increase in fares, but want spare parts dealers to respond to the city's appreciation by reducing their prices of their wares. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one stop shop for all your office essentials, Synthesis tags and Pepsodent, Herbal and Charcoal.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information.
MTN.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kingdom Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc.,
Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first port of call.
With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office,
Takweje, Osu near the Osu Cemetery, Temania Community 4, Takoradi opposite Vijay Mays Plaza, Cape Coast, University Bookshop,
Bookshop, Swintex Road near Agyabeng, Atomic, Centerpoint Mall, Winneba University Campus, KNUST, the University Bookshop, and Santasi in Kumasi. You can also visit our shop online, www.kingdomstoreonline.com. Hurry while stock lasts. For further inquiries, contact us on 050-162-0810 or 0302-764-101. Email info@kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, where quality and affordability is assured. Terms and conditions apply.
For many years, we've been solving Ghana's water storage problems with quality tanks. Syntex tank. You know, it is strong, it's tough, and reliable. And now, we are in to solve the #1 problem when it comes to water carriage: our pipes. With the state-of-the-art machinery, Syntex is providing very strong, tough, reliable, high quality, and durable pipes at a reasonable price. This is Syntex Pipes. With Syntex Pipes, water flows wow. I mean, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. If they carry water, no wahala. With Syntex Pipe, our water problems are solved. Syntex, are you strong? Are you tough?
Brushing gets more fun with your kids with the new Pepsodent Kids toothpaste. Give your smiles protection that lasts. Grab yours today from a store near you. This advert is FDA approved.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
And I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's maths we love. Or your community will win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Every mosquito study run away.
This advert is FDA approved.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, Ghanaians and other residents that traveled outside the country for last year spent almost 4 billion Ghana cedis. Now, that's according to a latest report on tourism put together by the Ghana Statistical Service. There is more in this report.
Ghanaians and non-Ghanaians who traveled out of the country either on a return journey or an overnight trip in 2023 spent an estimated 4 billion cedis. Same-day trips accounted for approximately 60 million cedis, while overnight stays made up about 3.4 billion cedis. The report further revealed that the Ashanti region recorded the highest number of same-day travels across all quarters, whereas the Greater Accra region recorded the highest number of the origin of overnight visitors.
Land travel was the dominant mode of transport for both overnight and return journeys. Togo recorded the most visits by same-day travelers, while West Africa dominated the destinations for overnight trips. Additionally, over 93% of all trips were self-arranged for both categories. Business and professional trips, visits to family and friends, and funerals dominated the reasons for both same-day and overnight trips in 2023.
And that is a report put together by Isaac Atase Nyako. To other stories on the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNET is seeking partnership to help revamp its investment in the Almina Hotel, as well as other investment in the country. This partnership is to support turnaround these investments without necessarily opting for an outright sale. Chief Executive of the SNET, that is Kissi, disclosed this at engagement with the media in Accra today.
That for some of the hotels, there is absolutely no need to sell down. Whether we want to sell 2%, 5%, 20%, there is absolutely no need for that. Like Labadi. Labadi would continue to be 100% owned by SNET because we believe that will continue to generate better returns that way forward. Then there are the likes of Elmina, La Palm, that would require significant capital outlays. For those ones, partnerships becomes important because I recall 3 or 4 months ago, I organized a meeting across pension funds in Ghana. So I met 4 of the top corporate trustees, and I said, guys, can we think through coming together and pooling a pool of pension funds together, for instance, to redevelop some of our investment that require capital injection, so that we may not be doing it alone, but we haven't sold down because it's still pension funds led.
And that is the Director General of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust there. Now to other stories. Transport operators are pushing to make a case for the abolition plans to push for an increase in fares. But they're actually making a case for spare part dealers to actually respond to the city's sharp appreciation against the US dollar. They want these spare part dealers to move quickly to reduce their prices in order for them not to also push ahead to actually increase fares. Let's hear from Duncan Amwa, who is the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, who has been engaging these transport operators.
Yes, we did have some interaction with transport operators today, and it doesn't look we're going to have that conversation of having to increase transport fares at this point, especially when we have declined from the 14 to 13 to 12, and most certainly looking at going to the 11-12 region at this point. I'm certain that we probably would go into the Christmas period without the need to have to even talk of increasing transport fares. But then again, this could only be sustained if the city's good run of form is sustained, so that we don't wake up 2 weeks from now and you are rather going to look at, hefty increases. Once the city is stable, there wouldn't even be that conversation of transportation fare adjustment upwards. I'm quite confident of that. If you speak to the drivers, they seem quite okay at this point. The only challenge that I think should be re-echoed is the fact that they would expect the cost of parts also to come down commensurate.
Duncan Amwa is the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers. MTN Ghana is stepping up efforts to educate Ghanaians on digital protection and responsible online practice. Now, speaking ahead of the Digital for Good Masterclass, Senior Manager for Enterprise Information Security and Governance of MTN Ghana, Jacqueline Hansen-Kotai, highlighted MTN's commitment to empowering both customers and staff during this Cybersecurity Awareness Month.
Our customers, we've been in some of our service centers. We were in Ablekuma Service Center about 2 or 3 weeks ago to talk to the customers about cybersecurity, to let people ask questions. I think with cybersecurity, sometimes we have to stop the talking and we have to listen because people have a lot of questions. People can get a bit confused, so we like to make ourselves available for people to ask us questions so we clarify some of the concepts too for them. Internally, we've been talking to our staff, we've been educating them. In cybersecurity, it's said that quite a lot of the data inside, so we need to make sure that our staff are educated enough so they inadvertently don't cause the company any harm, or as we'll say, open the gate inside for the thieves to come in.
We heard an MTN official explaining to us about this whole cybersecurity month and what they actually do, and that is Jacqueline Hansen Kote. She is the Senior Manager for Enterprise Information and Security and Governance at MTN. If you are a shareholder of, that is GCB Bank today, the value of each share that you're holding was up by 2 pesos to close at 16 Ghana cedis, 97 pesos. And Ken, guess who is coming to dinner on PM Express tonight? Well, it is the chief executive of the market leader in the oil marketing business, that is Star Oil, Philip Tieku.
Wow.
He's the chief executive from a 13th position over the years to the number 1 oil marketing.
I'm shocked to hear that. I thought it was Goyle.
Goyle has lost out to Star Oil
Wow.
just over the years, you know.
Oh,
so
talk about competition.
He's going to explain to us that it hasn't been about price, what has been their module. So basically, trying to get an understanding of their business module and how they've been able to sustain this drastic growth in terms of liters of petroleum product being sold, and the profits, the taxes, and all those things. So he's on at PM Express at 9 p.m. on Joy News and all our social media platforms, actually, to get an understanding of their module and whether indeed it is sustainable or not.
That is one not to be missed. Thank you very much, George, for bringing us the latest in business. And here are a few of your messages that you've been sending in to us. This one is from Major One in Kumasi. He says, Mr. Rashid Tanko, computer should give us a break. Was he not one of the NDC persons who led their attacks to assault innocent EC officials and other people in Ghana in the aftermath of the 2024 elections? Did he not endorse those acts of lawlessness? Nicholas Bentel from Akacha says the OSP had all these information but looked on for Mr. Ofori-Atta to flee the country. David from Akacha South says, is that soldier okay, or he did what he did out of frustration? No one is above the law. Let's treat all humans equal. Nana Boatin is from Ablikma Central. He says the talking OSP is back again with long talk and no action. I still hold brief and the belief that the office not serving any purpose and should be closed. And Bannerman from the US of A says parliamentarians who absent themselves from parliament must not be paid, whether majority or minority. The soldier who assaulted the pharmacist was very unfortunate. He has to be investigated. The strength that he used to assault the pharmacist, Ghana needs that strength to fight illegal money. Those are some of the messages that you've been sending to us on our WhatsApp platform. Now, let's take you to the court now, because former Director General of the National Service Authority, Ex-GRA, has been granted a bail of 80 million Ghana cedis with 6 sureties after pleading not guilty to charges of financial misconduct, including causing financial loss to the state, stealing and money laundering. The court set strict conditions for his bail, including the surrender of his travel documents and regular reporting to the police. The allegations against him stem from his tenure at the National Service Authority, where the state claims he authorized payments to non-existent service personnel, resulting in significant losses to the state. And my colleague James Afeji joins me in studio with details of the charges. James, what are the charges saying?
Well, the charges include causing financial loss to the state, stealing and money laundering, reportedly involving sums exceeding 1.5 billion Ghana cedis. Now, appearing before the court earlier today, Mr. Asibe maintained his innocence But Her Ladyship Justice Kizita Na Akua Kwashe granted him bail in the sum of 800 million Ghana cedis. The court directed that the bail be secured with 6 sureties, each required to provide landed properties value to match the bail amount. Now, in addition, the accused has been ordered to surrender all travel documents to the court registry and placed on a stop list with the Ghana Immigration Service, effectively barring him from leaving the country while the trial process goes on. He is also to report to the police headquarters twice every month on the first and third Wednesdays until the case is finally concluded.
Let's look at some of the key allegations against the former NSS boss.
The prosecution contends that during his tenure as the principal spending officer and authorized signatory to the National Service Authority's financial account, Mr. Osei-Sibe allegedly sanctioned payment to non-existent service personnel, resulting in significant losses to the state. According to the charge sheet, the alleged fraudulent transactions range from 516,000 Ghana cedis to 55 million Ghana cedis, with investigators claiming that the funds were disbursed under the guise of payment to ghost volunteers. Earlier investigations by the state also uncovered that the accused allegedly received 516,000 Ghana cedis monthly through a purported fake volunteer registration scheme amounting to over 8.2 million Ghana cedis within a short period. The case has been adjourned for further hearing as prosecutors push to establish a pattern of deliberate financial manipulation within the National Service Authority during Mr. Osei-Sibe's tenure. And Ken, if he's found guilty, the former NSS boss could face severe penalties, including restitution of funds and imprisonment under Ghana's anti-corruption and financial administration laws. And so he could go to prison for a long term if the case concludes that he's guilty of the charges leveled against him. Ken.
Thank you very much, James. And some have called it the El Clasico of the National Science and Maths Quiz. Disadel College, Infantipim School and Prempeh College clash at the quarterfinals any moment from now after Ghana Secondary Technical School knocked out 8-time champion Presec Legon. Let's cross over live to the Central Region where my colleague Collins Frimpong is standing by with the latest. Collins, how are preparations coming around?
We are supposed to have the contest between Prempeh College and also Disadel College, as well as Infantipim, who are current champions. Among these schools, we are expecting the numbers to come and support each of the schools. So currently, that is what is keeping the contest on hold. We are supposed to start some minutes ago, but because of some reason, the contest is currently on hold. But we've already had 2 contests that have already come on. And in the first contest was Mount Francis Senior High School, a category 2 school, coming in to shock Ghana National College in there, and also one former champion, St. Thomas Aquinas, who they last won it in 2013. That's the only time they won the contest. And also the best performance that they've been able to put up was in 2017 when they got to the semi-final. So when Aquinas coming in, they wanted to win this particular contest and repeat what they did in 2013, but unfortunately they couldn't do it. The contest was a bit tricky right from round 1 when Aquinas was leading by a margin. Round 2, round 3, it was tied among all the 3 schools when it was 10 points for each of the 3 schools. Round 3, also they ended with 19-19 in there. Then Mount Francis made a substitute in round 4, and yes, that's the 2 or 4 stage. Brought in a lady who made a difference for them. They were able to answer almost all the 2 or 4 questions. Before then, they were actually trailing. They were the last on that particular table in that particular contest. So before the contest, nobody even gave them the chance because they are not really known. On social media, this is the first time people are hearing them. But that substitution made a difference for them. answering almost all their questions in the true or false, what Aquinas and also Ghana National were getting them wrong.
And Collins, of course, this contest has been described as the El Clasico of the NSMQ, but many are wondering what really happened to the Real Madrid of the NSMQ, that is Presec Legon. How were they knocked out?
Ken, that was quite shocking because Presec and GSTS were tied in round 1, and OLAG, that's Our Lady of Grace, the only private school remaining in the contest, were third with about 3 point difference among all the 3 schools in there. Presec was leading in round 2, round 3 until the last round. After round 4, Presec was leading with 38, GSTS 30. But Presec couldn't keep their composure and couldn't answer any question in the riddle. Then GSTS picked 3 of the riddles. They were able to overtake them, and the contest with 39 points in there, and Presec Legon also getting 38. It was quite shocking that was what really happened. Presec bottling 8 points in lead in that particular contest.
Thank you very much, Collins Frimpong, bringing us those updates from the Central Region. Be sure to catch the El Clasico of the NSMQ. They clash before the final clash. It's the quarterfinals between Infante Pim School, Prempeh College, and Adisadel College. And that brings us to the end of News Night tonight. And coming up next is Personality Profile with Lexus Bill. And today the guest is Bishop N.A. Tachi Boy, who is the presiding bishop of Victory Bible Churches worldwide. That should be an interesting interview. Don't miss it. Have a good evening.